This is my air compressor right here. I do a lot with this air compressor. I didn't realize how much I need this air compressor for certain little things because when this air compressor went down, it seemed like everything halted. I mean, in case of a pinch, I could do a lot of stuff by hand, but as far as grinding, all my really small grinders, what I need, all runs off of air. So my air compressor was making some funny noises. I mean, it was squeaking and hollering. I thought the motor was going out or something. And it had been making noises. The air compressor had been making noises for maybe a month now. I've been lazy, not wanting to pull it out because it's so jam-packed back in there in the corner. It's kind of hard to get to, but I finally couldn't take it no more. It kept on getting louder and louder. And I pulled it out and had to figure out what was wrong. I'm sure glad I did. Because, okay, this is the back of the air compressor. And what happened with this, see if I can, let me show you what happened. When I pulled that grate off of there, this whole pulley was almost, I mean, it was like hanging off, pushing on the grate. That's why it was making a whole bunch of noise. It was pushing on the grate. It was almost hanging off of there. I mean, I had to hammer it all the way back down till this was flat. There's 2 hex screws right here. This is like super loose. I can move it with my hand. And there's one in here that's super loose. So basically, this pulley right here was almost about to fall off. What happened is there's a pin. It's called a pulley keyway. There's a keyway that goes in between the pulley and the motor shaft right there. Now, I looked everywhere for that. It fell off somewhere because these got loose. I looked everywhere for it. I couldn't find it. I probably swept it up when I cleaned the garage up and threw it away or something. So, you would think this would be easier to find anywhere, but I called a lot of places, had me on hold for a long time, and finally I said to hell with it. I looked online at a lot of places, nobody had it in stock. So, I went back to eBay. This little bitty keyway only cost me $3 shipped to my door. So I just got 2 of them, and now I'm waiting on it. And once I get the keyway in, I'll hammer the keyway in here, tighten I put some Loctite on these this time. And it should be good because this screw, I think what happened is this screw got loose, and that's why the keyway fell out. Once the keyway fell out, it started making this one loose, and this one was real loose. So once they were both loose, the whole pulley just started walking forward. And yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I never checked it from when I bought the air compressor. This air compressor is old, so I should have been doing routine maintenance and checking each bolt on the air compressor. Lesson learned, because this could have been catastrophic had this at all fallen off all the way or bent the pulley or something. So a $3 part has taken me out the game. So just to give you guys a heads up, people who do have air compressors in their garage, you ain't got to do it all the time, but every so often I'd go through and check your bolts, man. Check all the bolts, make sure they're still tight, because yeah, I could have, $3 is putting a halt to everything on me. So just a little heads up for all you shop guys that got tools, you know. Yeah, we get in such a hurry and hustle and bustle, and we take things for granted, and we just try to, work things to death and expect that every time you hit the button, it's always gonna come on. But hey, your tools need maintenance too. I almost had a catastrophic failure due to neglect on my behalf and not really paying attention and maintaining. I thought all I had to do is change the oil every once in a while, and this little motor right here, and I was good to go. Well, My electric motor on the shaft, there's a keyway cutout, and the key had slid back. I thought it fell off, okay? I thought the key had fell off because the screws on the pulley, the bolts on the pulley got loose over the years. I never even bothered to tighten them. I thought the key had fell off, so I ordered some new keys. Waited a long time, well I ain't gonna say a long time, waited about a week for them. New keys finally came in, so I just took the key, and of course the key was too big. So then I try to say, well, I'm just gonna grind down half the key on this grinder right here, this bench grinder. I got the key close, and away I went. I went to go hammer it in, and little do I know, hammered it in tight. I was like, all right, good to go. And then the pulley wouldn't turn no more. So then I was in trouble. So in further investigation, once I seen where I went wrong, and this was all in the heat of yesterday, I didn't have time to film. I was knee deep in dirt and grease, and I didn't film it. But long story short, the key I thought I had lost had just slid back onto because the bolts, the hex bolts was loose, had slid back onto the shaft. So when I went and tried to hammer the new key in, it just pushed the old key right into the motor, and that made the pulley not turn. It just locked the motor up. So then I spent the next hour and a half, almost 2 hours, trying to get that key I just, hammered in there, which I shouldn't have did in the first place. I should have just ordered a smaller key, but I was impatient, and I tried to hammer it in, so it took me about an hour and a half to get it out of there, and then I finally got the old key out, put everything back the way it's supposed to be, put some Loctite on the screws of the pulley so it wouldn't go back no more and wouldn't loosen up no more. And now I'm back in action. Now I'm back in action with my air compressor. Lesson learned. I was just impatient and say, oh, the key's gone. I'm gonna order a new key. I just being impatient almost had a catastrophic failure. So got everything back together, turned everything on, and everything's all good. Back in action on the air compressor.